Greetings and welcome to the Sports Card Ripping Teacher. So with the video yesterday being filmed on Sunday, I did not give my opinion on David Ross. I think it was long overdue. When he was hired, I was not on board. Now, just to make things perfectly clear, they did not ask me, but Grandpa Rossi as a player, those last 2 years was a really good story. And especially that last year, he was very productive. He was always a good catcher, but he did drive in some important runs. He had a home run in his last at bat in the World Series. But to be that young of a manager, I just did not agree with it. Quite a few years before that, Ryne Sandberg was coaching in the Cubs minor leagues, and he wanted to be the manager of the Chicago Cubs. And in fact, he had been in the minors maybe 4 or 5 years when they hired Ricky Renteria. And I was kind of disappointed then, saying, Ryan, he paid his dues in the minors. But then when it came time to hire Joe Maddon, I was like, you know what, Ryne Sandberg, no major league experience. We got to go with Joe Maddon. And that definitely worked out for the Chicago Cubs. So I'm hoping that Craig Counsell works out for the Cubs as well. We do have a good farm system again. Some good players coming up and a pretty decent team. So we'll see what happens. All right, class is in session. Today's lesson is dedicated to the number 58. And somewhere, Dave Craig is looking around. That's because, yes, Derek Thomas sacked Dave Craig 7 times in a game. And Derek Thomas was an intimidating figure for a great defense for the Kansas City Chiefs in the 1990s. And my main man, Wildcat, he'll probably tell you a little bit more about him. He was one of his favorite players. But one thing I always appreciated, he goes in that list of players that played their entire career for one team. Now, there is a sad ending to the story, but Derek Thomas, he was an awesome football player. 7 sacks in one game. Whew, that's impressive. All right, we're going to start off here taking a look at 2014 Topps. So we're kind of working our way backwards here a little bit just to see if Topps gets full control of the football market, what they could look like. So here's this Topps Valor set. We got Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Brett Favre's got speed at the bottom of that card. Brett could scramble, sort of effectively, but it was his arm. It was his arm that had the speed there on the old radar gun. But again, my favorite football player there. Here we have Topps Finest. Got Jordy Nelson. Sharp looking card right there. Just get those little marks on the chrome cards, that's for sure. So I spent, I think it was about maybe $18 on eBay getting all of these, and some of them came from one seller, so I definitely kind of lowballed them a little bit. But buying 4 or 5 cards from one seller, they're definitely looking to make a bit of a deal. So this is Topps Platinum Davante Adams rookie card. I do miss Davante Adams, that's for sure. And as we know from last time, the mini cards were pretty big with Topps Football. This one was its own mini card set with the Topps Chrome right here. So it was a whole set of minis. And Topps Prime, Aaron Rodgers right there. Running with the football, probably looking, where's Derek Thomas? Or in these days, where's Brian Urlacher? Here's a triple threads of Aaron Rodgers right there. We saw last time that the museum collection was not really anything special with the Topps back then, but I feel like this triple threads has the same kind of look to it that even has today with baseball. And here's some more minis. These were inserts, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre in the same set. And here's our flagship right here, rockin' Randall Cobb. I remember when this game happened. This was to send the Packers into the playoffs against the Bears, and Chris Conte left Randall Cobb wide open. I mean, Randall just ran right past him. Conte was like, hey, what's going on, bud? What are you doing after the game? Game-winning touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. And here's Aaron Rodgers. That was probably, it could have been that same game. That's the Bears background there, so I'm pretty sure that it was much earlier in the game. So that's our Topps Chrome. And here we have a Topps Chrome Davante Adams rookie card. This might have been the most expensive card that I bought. I think it was about $2. So there we go, Davante Adams. All right, so before we get to our other stuff here, I did win Mr. 95 cents, and I'm pretty sure he has a pretty good sense of humor. When it came packaged, it was like this. So the first thing I saw was, Pooh says. That's right, Jerome Richardson. And one of the things I do remember, oh no, I'm sorry, that's the next one here. But the collective book in the back, it says, Pooh says, I like to take challenges and turn them into positive things for my team and myself. So here's one that I do remember a lot. Terry Cummings. He played for the DePaul Blue Demons. And when I was a younger, that was one of my favorite teams to watch. Again, they were always on WGN. Ray Meyer was a very famous coach, but his son, Joey Meyer, was the coach of those teams I enjoyed watching. David Booth, one of my favorite players. But I went to DePaul University right there. Let's see, what did Terry say? If you can learn to control the skills of your body, then you can learn to control the skills of your mind. So these are going into the Mr. 95 Cents library here in our class. And what other YouTuber has a library? Probably none of them. All right, so we got some vintage cards here as well. Ken Bowman, center for the Green Bay Packers. If you notice, local product right there. They must have loved him back in Wisconsin. Went to the University of Wisconsin, born in De Pere, Wisconsin. I think I did say that one correct right there. And he was the player rep. That means for the union right there. Kind of interesting when they put the rep position or part right there. But hey, it's a center picture, ready to go. And here was the here was the baller right here. John Brockington, voted the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year for 1971, a little before my time. And if it wasn't Craig Counsell, I've always kind of liked the idea of Joe Girardi being the manager of the Chicago Cubs. I do enjoy him on the broadcasts, and I almost feel like they were giving him like space on the Marquee Network during games this year to kind of like audition for teams who may be looking for a manager. I just like the way he thinks about the game. And the actual prize that I won, funny to say, is Pete Alonso, which some people are speculating the Cubs may put a trade together to get Big Meat Pete right here. See the back of the card. My goal is to capitalize on every single pitch that's given. Pretty good idea. If he's a Cub, a lot of home runs. All right, so the meat and potatoes of today, I mean, those are some pretty good hors d'oeuvres right there, but is the PayDirt Fantasy Football League. So right now, the kid of cards, the kid in the group is winning with 41 touchdowns. He had 5 this week from Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, and Tyreek Hill was nowhere to be found, but that's okay. He had the 5 points. So there are the teams right there. So he's winning overall. Doogie's Dugout, he had 5 points as well this week. He's sneaking up there. Just always got to look out, man. He's coming from the back of the pack, as he likes to do with the home run challenge as well. All right, so that means we're going to open up 1 pack of Bowman U today. We do have 1 more autograph left in this product. Maybe today will be the day. All right. Wish me luck, folks. We do have our blaster box battle coming on Friday, and it's going to be a rematch. I said I'll kind of give some little hints as the time goes on here, but it's a rematch. All righty. The Mountaineers right there. Nico, not a Nico Horner. Kool-Aid. What a name right there. Kool-Aid playing for Alabama. Jaden Wally, Mississippi State. Dallas Turner. And there's another guy right there, Alabama. He's got to be pretty good, but, you know, we got, what is that? Signature, initials. It's always good to get an autograph, folks. I am not complaining, but come on, Dallas. Is that the state of Dallas that he drew? Or Texas, I should say. I don't know. Dallas Turner. And Logan Diggs out of the University of Notre Dame. That is how we close it out, folks. I bet Logan's got a great signature. Class is dismissed.